everybody, this is Ryan from 2G1, and today I'm going to throw another theory at you, and it's about the movie Teen Wolf. And Teen Wolf is about a werewolf basketball player who gets his team all the way to the championship, only to show up and not play as the werewolf. His team is the Beavers, who were down 22-3 when Michael J. Fox, who had decided to quit the basketball team, decides to show up and play. The team then comes roaring back to just within a few points. The werewolf, who decides not to be a werewolf in the championship game, hits 2 foul shots. The Beavers win the game, and everyone picks up the hero because he is the MVP of the championship game. But is Michael J. Fox really the true MVP of this game? Does he deserve to be picked up by his classmates and carried around? Stalwart reporter Paul Guzzo once told me that Michael J. Fox was not the true MVP of Teen Wolf and that it was a red-headed forward. Is that true? I mean, can it be true? Can Michael J. Fox not be the hero of his own movie? Well, let's test the theory and see if the red-headed forward is the true MVP of Teen Wolf. Let's go over the plot of Teen Wolf very quickly. Now, Teen Wolf follows diminutive basketball player Scott Howard, part of the always losing Beavers basketball team. His friends include party man Styles, fellow undersized classmate Lewis, and 27-year-old senior Chubby. This being an 80s movie, Scott wants to date the blonde with resting bitch face, but she's dating a bully on an opposite basketball team. Scott's friend Boof is of course much hotter than RBF, but being an 80s movie, Scott won't realize that Boof is hotter and the better person to date until the very end of the film. So thanks to hereditary genetics, which is defined as a disease or disorder that is inherited genetically, that is passed on from one generation to another through a defective gene, Scott finds out he's a werewolf, thanks to his dad's defective genealogy. Scott isn't happy, but Pop tells him being a werewolf is pretty great.
You're gonna have great power. And with great power goes a greater responsibility.
Dude, you totally cribbed that from Spider-Man.
But just because you can beat him up doesn't give you the right to. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Well, this is the screenwriting debut of Jeff Loeb, who would go on to write comic characters like Batman, Daredevil, Superman, Spider-Man, and, well, basically every comic character known to man. He's also written several more screenplays, including my favorite, Commando.
Showing our feature film. Your flight attendants are Susan and Lance, and I'm Vic.
And do me a favor. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
At first, Peter Parker didn't start using his powers with great responsibility, and neither does Scott, as he decides to use these werewolf powers for, not evil, but he does use his newfound werewolfdom to become a star basketball player and become super popular at school. The basketball team starts winning game after game. Eventually, the entire basketball team gets bored and tired of Scott being the only person really playing basketball, even though the team, thanks to Scott, gets to the championship basketball game. But Scott decides to only use his wolf powers when he needs to in the end. The whole with great power comes great responsibility thing.
Do the right thing. That's all I want to do, Styles. That's all I want to do.
At first, Scott doesn't show up for the big game, and his team, the Beavers, face off against the Dragons for the championship. When Scott has a change of heart and shows up, he finds his team is down 22-3. Now, who is this red-haired fellow? He's number 45, and he's an unnamed extra in the film. For this theory, I'm going to call him Red. So the Beavers are down 22-3, and the team gets on the court, and here is how the scoring breaks down. Chubby hits for 2 points. Then number 33 also hits for 2 points. Scott scores 2 points, and then Red shoots 2 in a row, bringing his total to 4. Scott shoots for 2. Then Red blocks a dragon shot. Red then passes to number 33, who scores again. Scott is fouled and hits his free throw, bringing his total points to 5. Red shoots and scores. So does Scott, and then so does Chubby. Scott is fouled once again and brings his total up to 8, then hitting again for 2 more points. Chubby is fouled and hits his free throw. Red then shoots for 2 and hits. Not just that, but Red then blocks another dragon shot. Number 33 hits for 2 points. Scott hits for 2 points, and then number 33 hits another shot. Red once again comes up huge and blocks yet another dragon shot. With the score 51-50, Scott is fouled in the final seconds. He hits both free throws, and the Beavers win the game 52-51, all without the Wolf. Scott is lifted up, as is Chubby, and everyone celebrates this massive victory. But is Red cheated here? The first thing to note is all of the points scored aren't shown on screen. Scott scores 14 points. Both Red and number 33 score 8 points apiece, and Chubby scores a total of 5 points. Coming into the game with 3 points, that brings the point total to just 38 points, with 14 of the points unaccounted for. If we break up those 14 points and give each player 3 points apiece, that has Scott scoring 17 points, Red and number 33 scoring 11 points apiece, and Chubby at 8 points. Those extra 2 points, we'll give them to Doug Savant since he basically just sat around the entire game anyway. Don't feel too bad for him. He got to kiss Felicity Huffman a lot.
So if Scott scored 17 points, he would be the true MVP of Teen Wolf, right? Wrong. I'm going to make some assumptions here, and I'm going to put it together with some facts. So it's going to be a little bit of logic sprinkled with some guesswork.
When Scott shows up, the Beavers have 3 points, and who made those 3 points? I'm going to say it was Red who was the one who made the 2 points and a free throw. It's a very, very large assumption. But Red is really the only one who was energized. So that gives Scott 17 points and Red 14 points.
However, and this is a huge however,
Red came up with not just 1, not just 2, but 3 blocked shots. If those shots would have gone in, the Dragons would have won the game 57-52. The Beavers would not be the state champions. The Dragons would be the champions. Coach Roger Podacter would be eating steak that very night.
I find the theory that Red, the red-headed no-name center of the Beavers, is the true MVP of Teen Wolf. And for the past 30 years, everyone has seen Michael J. Fox as the true hero of this game when it is really this red-haired extra.
But you know what, Red? That ends today, because it is about time that everyone knew that the team would have not won that championship without the true MVP of the game.
And that is why Red is the true MVP of Teen Wolf. Special thanks to author, filmmaker, and reporter extraordinaire Paul Guzzo for passing this theory forward. Agree? Disagree? Leave a comment below. Like and subscribe because, hey, it feels good to be loved. Also, check out our amazing show, Best Comedy You've Never Seen, looking at great comedy films you may have missed or never even heard of. I'm Ryan from 2G1, and I'll be back shortly with another great theory.
Hi, I'm Charles Zucker. I played Malcolm, coach's assistant in the movie Teen Wolf. And when I want to get the latest theories, I go to 2G1 Review.
There's 3 rules that I live by. Never get less than 12 hours sleep, never play cards with a guy who's got the same first name as a city, and never go near a lady who's got a tattoo of a dagger on her body. Everything else is cream cheese.
End of line.